Hello, once more, everyone. Welcome back to my channel back on YouTube for Week 2 NFL predictions. After going 5-2 in Week 1 of the first 7 games of the season, it's a pretty good record to start after last year when I didn't do good. This year, 5-2 to start 2024. Week 2, 7 new games on the schedule. Fun matchups as well. We'll see who I picked to win this week with a pair of teams that have multiple losses and multiple teams that have wins. So let's get started with Week 2 NFL predictions. There you go, everyone. First game up on the schedule this week, the Dolphins and the Bills, between Tua Tagovailoa and Josh Allen, the Bills. These two teams are pretty good on paper. Dolphins picked up a win 20-17, by the way, against the Jaguars last week when I picked the Dolphins to win that matchup. Again, I think the Dolphins and the Bills matchup against Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa, the Dolphins, they have Tyreek Hill, multiple weapons around them, and of course the Dolphins, they won last week on Sunday, 2 days ago. The Bills coming in with Josh Allen. They're pretty good as well. This is a matchup last year that they played 3 times. The Bills played 2 times last year. The Bills and Dolphins, they split the matchups last year. The Dolphins won in Buffalo. The Bills won on the road in Miami late in the season on a Sunday Night Football and clinched their division title then. And I think this year can come down to those 2 teams again, where they're going to fight it out to see who wins the division. But on this one, I'm going to take the home team, the Miami Dolphins, on Thursday night for the game on Thursday night. So I do think the Dolphins pick up the 2-0 record, get the 2-0, playing at home against the Bills. Unlike last year in the season finale with the 2-0. Unlike last year when they played in their final game against each other when the Dolphins lost to the Bills. I think the Dolphins get revenge at home this time around against the Bills on Thursday. Moving on to another matchup between teams that are between 2 teams that are 1-0. Minnesota Vikings coming in with Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback, and the 49ers coming off a big win last night, 32-19 against the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. That matchup last night was interesting. Listened to a little bit of on the radio last night on the way home from the baseball game I went to. And so here's the deal. The 49ers coming in, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, who filled in for McCaffrey, was out for the game last night, helped the 49ers get a big win last night. Vikings, they got a interesting win I saw as well, so they're one of the multiple teams in the NFC North that's 1-0. The only team in the NFC North that's not 1-0 is the Green Bay Packers, who lost the Eagles, which we'll talk about later. But this game, the 49ers do have to go on the road against the Vikings this week. This game, I see the 49ers coming out with Brock Purdy, the 49ers. I think they do a real good job this week. I think they get a big win on the road to get the 2-0. So I do think the 49ers get the big win here on Sunday, as I do think they beat Minnesota on the road this week. Next matchup number 3, we have the 1-0 Baker Mayfield Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the 1-0 Jared Goff Detroit Lions. This matchup, another interesting one. Lions, they won on Sunday Night Football 26-20 in overtime against the Rams on the other night. And then also, Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield ran the table. The Buccaneers got a big one as well over the weekend. Both teams want to know. This is a rematch of the NFC divisional round where these 2 teams played in Detroit last year. The Buccaneers lost that matchup. Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers coming in with a good matchup this season. Are they going to get a win in this matchup? I'm not so sure if they do get a win this week, but I do see them playing well this week to play good in the Buccaneers. And I do think they'll play better than they did in the postseason last year when they played in Detroit in the playoffs. But I do think Jared Goff and the Lions coming away with another close win. Again, I don't see the Lions going to overtime this week, but I do think the Lions get a win to go to 2-0 and stay unbeaten in the NFC North, as I do think they remain unbeaten. Moving on, a pair of winless teams, the Las Vegas Raiders, Antonio Pierce, second-year head coach, and the Baltimore Ravens, and John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, after losing by a toe in the game against the Chiefs on Thursday night last week. Game I predicted the Baltimore Ravens would win. I was wrong. That was one of my 2 losses last week for week 1. I do think the Ravens are going back home this time around where Lamar Jackson can play amazing, where he always does play amazing. It's going to be a game that I think the Ravens will get a bounce-back game, playing the Raiders, who are also on 1. You know, when you have 2 teams that are on 1, it's hard to take in, but I think the defending MVP, Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens, I think they get the job done here in week number 2 So I do think the Ravens win this one on Sunday afternoon. Moving on, next matchup on the day. Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, coming off a loss to the Patriots where they lost 16-10. And Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, my favorite team in the league, of course. Matchup, Bengals-Chiefs, matchup that's always playoff implications with Joe Burrow and also Patrick Mahomes. These two teams, when they get together, it's interesting to see what happens. And it's going to be another matchup they get together this year around where it's going to be interesting to see what happens. In the past, Bengals have won multiple games at Arrowhead Stadium, including playoffs and AFC title game 2 years ago. 3 years ago, I guess now. But only 3 years coming up in January. And also, the Chiefs and Bengals, this is a matchup, a rivalry, kind of. Not like the Mahomes-Josh Allen rivalry, but the Mahomes-Joe Burrow rivalry. Where these two teams will play down to the wire in the last minute. That's what this game's going to take this week, I think. And I think it's going to come down. Can Joe Burrow make plays on his and get another big win in Kansas City like he has in the past? If he does, he'll be 3-1 against the Chiefs in Kansas City, I believe, or 2-1, I guess, including a postseason win. But this matchup's all about bragging rights, and I think this is a matchup, no matter what. We will see this game happen out in January, possibly in Cincinnati, possibly in Kansas City, of course. But I do think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs come away with a win playing at home against Burrow and the Bengals. And I do think Joe Burrow gets another soft start this week, but I think the Chiefs get the win this time around in the matchup against the Bengals, unlike the last time when they played a few years back. Moving on to the next matchup. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. Steelers coming off a big win. Steelers and Justin Fields coming off a big win where they didn't have an offensive touch. Where they played okay against the Falcons, I saw. And last, the Denver Broncos as they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Denver Broncos playing at home. And I think the question of the debate is Bo Nix really the quarterback of the future for Denver? He did good, I think he did good. I didn't really pay attention to the late games with the Broncos. I didn't pay attention to the Steelers matchup. But I did see this. They played good. Steelers and Broncos, these are two teams that are going to be tough, interesting matchups. I'm not sure to pick this one, but I do think I have to go with the Justin Fields and the Pittsburgh Steelers, a former Bears quarterback. I do think he gets a good game and plays well this week. So I do think the Steelers get a win in this matchup against the Broncos. So I'm going to take the Steelers on the road this week on Sunday. Moving on to Monday night. Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins and the Falcons. Going against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Eagles coming off a big win in Brazil back on Friday last week. Last week I picked the Eagles to get the win. They won 34-29 against the Packers. Eagles going home this time around though. In Philadelphia, first game of the season at home. And of course the fans are going to be out there. They're going to be loud. They're going to be too loud for Falcons to handle, I think. This matchup. I think the Eagles are going to blow the Falcons and Kirk Cousins away this week. Jalen Hurts, I think, will have a big game, of course, and I think Saquon Barkley, the run back, he'll get another few touchdowns this week. So I'm going to take the Eagles over the Falcons on Monday night coming up, as that is my NFL predictions for week number 2. Just a quick recap. Thursday, I'm taking the Dolphins over the Bills. And on Sunday, I'm going with the 49ers over the Vikings on the road. From there, I'm taking the Lions, Ravens, and Chiefs all at home against the Buccaneers, Vegas, Raiders, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Then in Denver, I'm taking the Steelers over the Broncos. And on Monday Night Football, I'm taking the Eagles over the Falcons. That is the 2024 Week 2 NFL predictions. I'll see you back here next week. Don't forget to comment below who your favorite team is playing if you think they're going to win. And with that being said, please remember to watch, like, subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends as well to do the same if they haven't done so. Also, don't forget to hit that notification button below so you know when there's a new video. With that being said, stay safe and peace out. I'll see you right back here next Tuesday, week number 3. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now, and peace out. See you next week. Bye.